Hi, I'm Roxanne Owens. I'm the chair of the Teacher Education Department here at DePaul University, and it's that time of year again where we need to start getting our kids ready to get back in the swing of things with schools. And it's likely that parents may have become a bit more flexible with bedtimes and morning routines. So, about 2 weeks before school starts, you want to gradually begin getting ready for school bedtime again. It's hard for kids to go from a bedtime of 10 or 11 or 12 to a bedtime of 7 or 8 without some kind of transition, especially if it's still light outside at night. And it's important to not make it seem like it's a punishment. That's the other really important thing. You don't want to, you have to go to bed now so you're not tired for school in 2 weeks. So phrase it positively, use an upbeat tone. Ask the kids what would make it more palatable, easier for them to get to bed earlier. Um, would it help to listen to a book on tape? Would it help to be able to read in bed using some kind of a fun book light? So, what's going to make it not painful for them to be getting to bed much earlier than they were used to? So, in addition to prepping their bodies to get ready for school, you also want to prep their minds for that school thinking. So one idea is to download some of those digital pictures that you've taken all summer and that are frozen there in your camera, and to put together a summer 2009 memory book. So download the pictures, add captions. You could ask the kids to do some research about some of the places that you visited. If you really want to be challenging for your summer memory book, see if you can make a rhyming text to go with it. So a poem about your summer to accompany some of those pictures. That might be kind of fun. If your child hasn't read much this summer, if they put it off and put it off, and now would be a good time to read that. Read at least a book before summer ends. Have some family reading time every night for at least a week before school starts. Older kids can read aloud to younger kids. Parents can read one book aloud to everybody. Pick a favorite from your childhood and have a family reading time in the backyard on a blanket in a tent. Again, make it fun. Um, Let everybody choose something to read alone, magazines, newspapers, just as long as they're reading. That's what's important. Encourage your kids to email someone about what they're reading, so that gets them actually starting to write again. So emailing grandma or grandpa or cousins about what they're reading. Another thing to do is if you know who your child's teacher is going to be, you can have them email or write a postcard to the teacher saying, "Here's what I read this summer. I'm looking forward to meeting you." So get them reading and writing about things. If the child needs to purchase new schools or other materials for school, give them a budget and say, "All right, here's how much we're going to spend." Give them the ads from the newspaper. Help them decide how to stay within the budget. Um, and remember, in addition to retail stores, consider making a trip to a consignment shop or a thrift store if your kid would be caught dead in used clothing, of course, that is. Uh, and just kind of help them see, hey, how much more you could get a lot of more for your money if we buy some things at consignment or thrift stores. And then, of course, you always want to check out educational websites too. They give kids that immediate feedback. So, practicing math skills on the computer is a great way to get the kids back into that school kind of thinking. The other thing you want to do, so you prep their bodies, you want to prep them for academic thinking, and then you want to prep them psychologically as well for getting back into that school routine. So, make sure the kids have some downtime before gearing up for the school schedule. Many kids are actually as overscheduled in the summer as they are during the regular school year, so they might not actually have had a lot of downtime, R&R time during the summer before returning to the rigors of academic responsibility. So plan a couple family outings to spend some time doing something fun. We all have our list of things that we had hoped we would do over the summer that we maybe never got around to. Um, Summer, of course, always goes so quickly. How do you squeeze everything in? So pick one or two things and actually schedule them into these last couple of weeks. Go to that concert in the park, take that bike ride, go for a family hike, and use the time together to talk to the kids about their successes and their challenges from last year. What went well, what didn't go so well. So take a notebook on one of those last summer outings, that last family bike ride. Stick a notebook in your backpack and sit down at some point on that bike ride. Have a snack and talk about last year and set some goals for this year. What does each person want to be able to say in June when they look back on this next school year? So set some goals. And then how are they going to meet those goals? What's the action plan to go along with that goal? So if they want to be on the honor roll, okay, that's a great goal. So how do we do that? How do we make sure that that happens this year? Some specific concrete actions to tie to those goals. And then talk to the kids about, is there anything they're concerned about this year? Anything they're worried about? And then how can they prepare to deal with those concerns? What are they most excited about? All important things to talk about with kids, especially if they're in a district where they might be switching buildings or, lost some friends or whatever. So the psychological preparation is also important. And then the last thing to think about is, how will you work together as a family this upcoming year to support each other and to celebrate with each other throughout the school year? And then lastly, what did you most enjoy about this summer? What was it that really was something you'll look back on fondly? And then figure out, is there a way that you can capture those practices and keep those practices alive during the school year? So the schedule does have to change. You do have to now get back in the routine, getting up very early, homework, after school activities. So the schedule is going to change. But with a little bit of effort, you can make sure that you build in those good times so that the school year is full of as many fond memories as hopefully this last summer was for you. Thank you.